Hi, I'm Richie Mackay.
And I'm Davey Bolt, and you are listening to the Wrong Bias Podcast.
Welcome to part 2 of our Boxing Day show. It's a bit like cheese and biscuits at the end of a meal. There's more chat with Harry Goodwin. We pick out our highlights from our 2022 road trips. As always, thanks to our sponsors XX20, Lean to Succeed and Bowls is Bowls. Join our chat with Harry Goodwin.
Touching on the Australia subject, there's a lot of incentives out there. We're seeing a lot of Irish lads, Scottish lads going out there and playing full time out there. Is there anything that's crossed your mind?
Yeah, to be fair, like that UBC has just been on recently. Obviously, seeing a lot of that, you do watch it and you think, I'd love to go out there and just see it, experience it really. So I think it is something which sort of in my mind, you know, like you do think about it, think, Bowls does look brilliant out there, I have to be honest. And obviously you've been out there and played in Commonwealth Games and everything, so obviously you know more than what I do. But
it is good to be out there, and obviously they have got a bit more of a professional setup there, and that's the biggest thing for you. I mean, you know, just turned 25-year-old, but now you've got a world title under your belt. You stick your pro forma or your CV out there, and I'm sure there will be clubs interested. But it's quite a big leap. It's a long way.
I think if I was looking at it, obviously I would like to go out there for more of like a holiday, but try and sort of play at a club or get in with a club just to see how it goes and it's sort of things like that. But yeah, it's definitely something I would be interested in. And it's always something I've always thought, why not more English players go for it? I see quite a lot of Scots out there, like you say, Irish, but not many from England have really made any kind of jump, have they? Which I know probably family and stuff like that comes in, and
it's never been a regret for me because I wouldn't change my decision anyway, but maybe it's past my time to be able to go out there now. But the reason I didn't sort of attempt to try and do something like that, again, you've just hit the nail on the head. I'm very much a family man. I've got close to my family, and it's a long old trek out there to travel backwards and forwards to come and see your parents or whatever that is. And life's too short. I think it would have to be a very big incentive to actually get you to go over there. And like I say, we're seeing a lot of lads. Gary Kelly's probably the most recent high-profile player to go over there from Ireland. You know, we see Paul and Alex across there on a regular basis, and I saw pictures with the two Bankses over there as well. Greg McLaughlin, I think, and, you know, a few others.
Yeah, I think I see it, like, obviously, you're saying, like, Banks and people like that. You see people sort of, like my age, going out there and doing pretty well. And you do think, like, is it worth getting your CV out there and giving it a go? But obviously, for me, I've just got sort of travelling reserve for the indoor team. Obviously, outdoors doing a bit better than that in the team already. So it's like, sort of, if you did go out there full time, you'd probably be given things like that up. I know it's not, but obviously I really enjoy playing for England. Hard decisions, isn't it, really?
I can see if you went on holiday, Harry, we'd see the headline, England ringer wins kangaroo pairs. I can see something like that. I've never played before. I've never played before. Is it little bias on the inside? Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Give us the money. I can see it. You'll be escorted to the airport. Get out. Come on.
Off you go.
Off you go. Pack your bags. We'll send you balls later.
Yeah. My advice to anybody who was probably thinking about going out there would be to try and potentially, if you're going to have a holiday and see what it's all about, is potentially get out there and be part of that Australian Open singles, pairs, triples, fours, whilst maybe playing for a local club. And then you're going to get a real taster of what it is at the top level. And
what it's about.
Our mates from Cumbria, Stewie, Trevor, Graham Vipon, Ian Gallagher, I think, went out there and played in the fours in that 1 year. I think they'd probably played in all of them and went across as a group. And it's supposed to be a fantastic event. And I would have thought if you want a real taster of what it's all about, then that potentially could be the option to go for. But there's a clash with your nationals at home and things like that. That's the problem.
I think that's one of the things that if you were to go over there, you're almost looking at probably having a season off.
Wow.
Like, you've got to fit so many nationals in. Like, even last week, me going to Ireland, I've had to play so much just to have that week off, if you know what I mean, with your nationals and stuff. There's so much to play, isn't there, competition wise? And
exactly. There is, and we've talked about on the podcast before, Harry. It's a lot of people don't understand how much sacrifice it actually is for very little return, apart from pride for playing for your country or winning a national title. And that's sort of the difference between the two of them.
Yeah.
If you wanted to actually go and at this moment go and potentially make some money out of the sport, there's only one place to go. Whereas if you want to be part of playing for your own home country and potentially winning some national titles, then you just kind of do both. There's just not enough hours in a day or days in a week, unfortunately.
No. I think that's the difficult thing for me is if you go out there, obviously people have done it, you are giving up playing for your own country, you know. It's one or the other, really, isn't it?
You've had a little bit of upheaval lately as well, haven't you? Because you moved counties, you moved across from Devon, didn't you, across to Kent? How did that go?
Yeah, it's gone all right, to be fair. Like, it's gone fairly well. Like, obviously Devon was a great place to play, and obviously missed loads of my friends and family down there, but I can't say Kent's not going well. It's going, Bowls is pretty good. Like, me and the girlfriend get on pretty well, so yes, all right.
You gotta be missing Tolchard though, because he's got a face like a slap backside all the time.
Yeah, well, I know.
I talked to Sam a lot, mate, and he's talked a lot about yourself and obviously the ability you've got, and he's got no doubt that you're certainly one of the few in the current crop at the moment who are coming through from the under-25s who've got the massive potential to do a lot within the sport. So I talk to him a lot.
Yeah.
And 2 more minutes from Les, Gillett and Jason Parkinson.
Here's a good teaser for you. Out of all the questions regarding the Potter's draws, which is the most asked question? Think about what's changed. And I'm only saying this because Les is on. There's a clue. There's your big clue. What's changed for you this year, Les?
Me? Oh, what's changed for me this year?
Pairs.
Oh, right. Okay. I've changed my pairs.
Pairs partner. Yeah.
Pairs partner. Yeah.
That's been the most asked question.
Really?
I have nothing to do with it.
Really?
Yeah, most asked question. Yeah.
Well, it was an easy decision for me because I rate Wayne really highly, and he's up and coming. He's exuberant on the green. He's excitable, and I think it installs a bit of enthusiasm back into myself, my own game, really. And me and Jason, we've played for 4 or 5 years. We won it the first time out, and we've probably lost our way a little bit over the last 2 or 3 years. So it's get that little bit of excitement back.
And there's only one new change of rule this year, the pairs, where it means if Wayne gets his belly out, his pairs partner loses 10 world ranking points. And I lose the will to live.
If he uses a bit of common sense, he wants to get a sponsor tattooed on that belly, doesn't he? I mean, make a fortune.
I'll tell you what, Jason, if we win the pairs, I get my belly out as well.
Oh, you heard it first. Exclusive. Wrong Bias podcast exclusive.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and I'll get World Wildlife Fund.
You'll have to get it
harpooned on the set.
That's it. Yeah.
You'll have to get a trawler then, because if I win my first game against Stewie Anderson, I'm getting everything out.
Oh, brilliant.
And now for our final part of our chat with Harry Goodwin.
You're obviously rolling off the back of a successful outdoor season as well. This is a nice midway point in the indoor season, so things are obviously going well. Obviously, your confidence must be sky high at the minute. You feel you've learned a lot from the group of players who you've played within your original county for. I mean, obviously, we don't need to reel off the names who come from Devon. We know that most of them have been on here and sold the soul to the Wrong Bias podcast, so we know all about them. But you feel you've learned a lot from those guys playing in amongst them?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I feel like when I was younger, I was really lucky to play with, obviously, like Sam, Louis, Jamie. If you can't learn off them, you're not going to learn off anyone, are you? I'd like to think I played the game right, if you know what I mean. Like learning to play the right shots and just things like that, I think is massive. And yeah, I think I was really lucky to be in that situation, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Playing at Kings, there's no better club to play at.
It's an interesting thing because we played against Cumbria yesterday in the Liberty, and I've grown up with a lot of those lads and ended up playing a game against Ian Gallagher, who I've known for like 30 odd years. We battled against each other in the under 25 days as well, and we talked a lot about this. And I think for me that the under 25s currently, I've said it before on the podcast, I'll stick by what I say. I don't think the current crop coming through have got the strength and depth that have maybe come from the last 2 or 3 generations, whatever that might be. But we also think a lot of it is some of the under 25s just don't seem to want to learn from those guys who've been there, been in amongst it, done the job. I mean, yourself and Gally were talking yesterday, and names that were cropping up. Gally, grew up with your John Bells, your Ronnie Gasses, your Stewie Aries, all of these guys. Myself was, Jimmy Lamberts, Gary Smiths, Tommy Bullers, Richie McKay's, and
hello there.
He let that one out, Richie McKay's. Joke about Richie, but I've played the game, and I've Richie, when as I was a young kid, you'd won the British Isles triples, and it's lads like those. If you don't watch and you don't learn from and you don't see what they're doing to win big titles, you're not going to improve. You're not going to make that progress. And looking at those who are doing the business around your age at the moment, all seem to have that pedigree behind them, so to speak.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, I don't get why that is, if you know what I mean. I think the generation of the under 25s at the moment, like, obviously when I first sort of just broke into to the Devon teams, like our double rinks were ridiculous with like the Sam, Louis, the people like that. I actually look at it and think, I look at the junior team and I go, what junior players got the chance of possibly playing seniors or maybe skipping seniors in the future? And you look at it currently and it's like, you go back, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, you've got all those guys which have gone from junior to skipping. So not just skipping seniors, but getting in the seniors. Like currently, obviously, we haven't got any juniors in the senior team. So I'm one of the non-travelling reserves. But sort of think you go back a few years and there was a lot, wasn't there?
I don't mean to be detrimental to the current crop of under 25s, but it's like when I first got into the under 25 England team, it was ridiculous. I mean, Ian Bonds, Rob Newman, Stuart Aries, you could just reel off 24 players who, majority of which are still kicking about today, and are still banging in title. And then you started to get your Sammies and that starting to creep into that sort of generation after ours. They started to come through. You like Jamie Walkers. They're starting to now do the business. So you've still got that crop of talent back from my under 25 days. Then you've got that next crop of talent back from Jamie's and Sammy's days and Louis. Yeah. And then obviously you've just hit the nail on the head. There's nobody from that under 25 crop over the last probably 5-10 years now that's managed to take that next step forward.
Yeah, exactly. And I look at that and I don't look at it and go, yeah, he could turn into possibly that. And I don't, like, it's, but then when I was really young, obviously playing with those sort of guys, you were just like, God, he's so good. He never misses. I don't know. I don't know why it is. Maybe the youngsters now are not getting the experience with these kind of players. I don't know. Maybe that is it. Maybe it comes down to that. Or
I think potentially you could be right, Harry. And I think I think the biggest difference is that you'll have seen it yourself, and I see it a lot. Your likes of who you've played with, Sam's, Louise, Jamie Chesney's, always manage to win a game when they're maybe not playing at 100%. They could play at 70% and still find a way to win. I think you look at a lot of younger lads now who've got an abundance of talent. There's no middle game. They either turn up and play absolutely out of the skin, or they turn up and they get absolutely laddered. They haven't worked out, how do I manage to get through a game? And you might have just hit the nail on the head there. It might be that lack of experience, or the alternative of that is they're not seeking that experience. They're thinking that they're there before they've got there, and they're not interested about learning from the current players at the moment, like we used to.
I think what I see from a lot of youngsters now, is which I play with and against, I think they try to just run themselves out of trouble too often. They think someone will get a bowl close or whatever, get a few close, and the first thing they want to do is just hit it as hard as they can. Where when I was sort of obviously coming through with like the Sams and the Louis, like obviously they've got that shot, but a lot of the time it's just about building heads. Like if you play with like the top players, even that trial the other day, like playing against Sam's rink, they just build heads. They build heads, and then you've got someone like Sam behind. He can pop a bowl up, he can turn a jack, I think that for me is the big difference. I think maybe the drawing at the younger sort of people's gone out the game. They've got the ability to draw all the time, but it's about having that experience of playing the right shot at the right time.
You've gone through what our class is the apprenticeship. You've played front end for a lot of years, and then you're obviously you still, from what I see, you play a lot of front end balls, but you've done a little bit, obviously playing latter stages of your under 25s back ends, which is obviously because of your experience and your pedigree and the quality that you've got, because there's you're sort of not so much forced into that position, but it's a necessity rather than anything else. I think you're right. I think there's too many of them just don't put that time in. And I suppose in defence, we were very lucky. Sort of, I don't know if you ever remember the felt greens, but this is what we were talking about before as well. Green gauge for me has brought a whole new sort of. There's a difference to the game. People sort of chase a lot more on green gauge, whereas, which you'll remember on felt, you could let go of a ball on felt, and within 2 foot out your hand, you could literally call it and say, I know exactly what it's going to do, because it was so true. You know, if there was runs in the green, you knew exactly where the runs were.
Yeah.
But I just find with green gauge now, I think the balls skid so much off quite a shiny, whatever the surface is, that you get so many different reactions to the balls. You can play 2 balls alike, but they can do 2 totally different things. And I think that forces a lot of the ballers into playing a little bit more of a chasing game now than what they used to.
All these sort of new carpets and underlays, they're all really, really heavy. Just like, they're not really drawing carpets, are they? Like, you play so many people just play like a couple foot or yard or 2 yards into things, and they seem to get away with it.
The automatic reaction to that back in the day would have been that you would have gone and you'd have probably gone into an indoor green with a set of lignoids, because you know you were going to get a bit more out of them. But nobody will do that now, because the initial reaction is, well, I'm not going to go on there and try and play proper balls when somebody's just given a 2.5 foot of green and rolling straight up the middle. So it's it swings and roundabouts. But I just think sort of a lot of the players over the last probably 30, 40 years and well beyond that as well have got that art of drawing themselves out of trouble and building heads. You hit the nail on the head. Building heads has always been the key in the game. Build heads, then play the shot. Don't think about playing the shot and then worry about when you're 5 down, you've got a ball in your hand to try and save the game. And that seems to be a case of a lot of the younger ballers now.
I do agree. I think it's not so much building heads. It's even like the number 2s and stuff. But they always seem to think if you're down, you've got to play 2 foot. It's like 2 foot. For me, I think just be building heads. Maybe I'm wrong and stuff. That's the only thing I can think of with more youngsters now. It's a lot more straight down, you know.
Do you know what it is, Harry? One of the biggest comments we've had from one of our podcasts from a lot of players who've got a lot of experience and have all turned around and said, you know what it is, I've never ever thought about that, was when we had Sam on, and Sam turned around and said, somebody gets a front toucher on, my first thought is not getting that front toucher off. My first thought is, I'm not going to drop any more I'm going to try and not drop any more than a 1 in this end. I'll try and draw as close as I can and get second ball. And a lot of people after that comment, myself included, sort of went, you know what it is? That is how you win games. Back yourself in the game to get the 3s and 4s yourself, because your consistency over the course of the game will always give you those opportunities. But when you drop shots, drop the minimum. Don't be dropping 3s and 4s. Like Sam says, they're the shots that lose you. The 3s and 4s are the ones that lose your games.
Yeah, that he's so right there. It's like when I go into a game of singles, that's what I think. Just be tight as possible. Try and it doesn't always work, but be tight as possible. If I drop 21 1s, I'm not losing that game. Well, I don't think I am. You think that you're going to win that game? That's how I would look at it. Yeah,
definitely. And it's like I say, it was one of the very much talked about comments, and it sticks with me. And I still didn't do it. Like, I still try and lash the ball off.
Off it straight on.
That's why I lose. No, apart from that, Harry, obviously, I think looking from the outside, things are absolutely flying for you. I mean, Richie, have you got anything else you want to ask Harry?
Best to look in the game, mate. You've got a cracking future to the sport if you can get through that middle-aged spell where people get married and have families and they go missing for a while. No, I think you've got a tremendous future in it, mate. I wish you best of luck.
Yeah. Cheers. Yeah. Yes. Like I say, it's going pretty well at the moment, but it's just about trying to keep pushing on.
Now that you've gone to Kent to win the outdoor singles in Kent, you'll probably have to start playing now because there's that many rounds in it.
Oh no, yeah. Literally, it's like, it's ridiculous the amount of entries.
Get yourself like 2 games, you're down. Sorry, Jason.
Well, no, Harry, I mean, again, thanks for coming on. Watching from the outside. Great to see what you're doing. Back what Richie's just said there. Wish you the best of luck. Even though obviously when you came in second to my ring outdoors, you were the reason why I had to retire, because our record just went out the window outdoors. I don't know if you know this, Richie, but we had a really good record outdoors, and then Harry came into our rink at second, and we just felt the bits like so.
Yeah, it fell apart.
I said enough's enough. Like I retired because of Harry. Like, only joke. Didn't go too well. It was a series to forget that one, mate. That's without a doubt.
That series is gone.
Right, mate. So it would be nice just to pick out a few highlights of the year that we've had, both streaming and with the podcast. The podcast passed 20,000 downloads in April. It was our third birthday in November. We have only managed to get 7 podcasts out this year. Hopefully next year we'll try to get 1 a month. But what we lack in quantity, we don't lack in quality. Our live streaming, thanks to everybody for the kind comments. We've actually live streamed, I totted it up, we've live streamed 96 games over the last 12 months. As we mentioned last year, thanks to the PB and Jason for letting us do a bit live streaming, Bowls Durham as well, and Bowls England for letting us do a couple of bits and bobs, regional finals and what have you. Couple of highlights from us, mate. Probably the qualifiers at Carlisle and the infamous iPad, will it or won't it moment. I think that was
a good one.
That all creased us up. And obviously we'll have to mention your 5 minutes of Walt Disney movie madness. Because that
was great stuff. That was top quality streaming, that I'll tell you.
Top quality entertainment that we got wrong for off one fella. He didn't like it. Stop the laughing. But it was Frozen. Are you Frozen? Frozen 2?
That's the one complaint we've had since the first day we started. That's I stand by the fact that's quite good going. So, he didn't like our laughing. We were laughing like school children. Your fault, Richie. I blamed you. Like.
And we also got 3 hashtags out of it as well. Hashtag suffering buffering, which is still running. Hashtag Springer Spaniel. You come up with that. I don't know where that came from. And hashtag Balls for Holes, because I get everything wrong. But it's been a good 12 months regarding the podcast and the streaming. We're pleased you've enjoyed it. We're both delighted at the good comments that we get, and we'll see what we can do in 2023 with the Wi-Fi, etc. Well, after 15 hours of live streaming, here is that random question.
Colin Banks, was that the name of the dad in Mary Poppins? That's a bit of a raw question. Where did that come from?
It's the one remake.
What made you come to there? Like?
The one remaining brain cell I've got left working. It's actually just come up with Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins. What's he getting that for?
I looked at my wallet and all I've got left's tuppence.
Half sixpence. What a very random question that is.
I mean, I got an answer.
I bet you do with all these answers. Come on, folks.
And the lad was right. We did get it answered.
George Banks.
Yeah.
We knew Jason it.
Spoil the fun.
Knew Jason it.
I had about 19 Mary Poppins puns coming up there. Just a spoonful of sugar would have got a that shot. Oh, go fly a kite, Jessica. I do birthdays, christenings, bar mitzvahs.
One down. The front one.
Same for me. That was my aim. Did I hear you say pharmacist?
Oh, yeah. Parkinson's quote for a link. Just to confirm it's George Banks. I wish you would do one. My patience is very thin.
I'm guessing the stream's okay, it's just the commentary that's cropped now. I'm surprised I haven't gotten that one back.
Plummeted new depths now.
the Disney hour, folks, if you've turned on.
Parkinson hadn't stolen any thunder. I was waiting for Colin to play a really good end. I was going to say that was supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And he killed it.
Killed it.
Scott Morland says 1 point for every Disney movie we can bring into the commentary. Challenge accepted.
And things just went downhill from there.
Thankfully, it looks like the buffering sorted itself out, because I do believe the screen was frozen at 1 point. 1 point above. And great opening ball from Colin. Was yours frozen too? 2 points to ball.
Give it away. Get 102 people watching here when C's game of balls on. He's international, but he's balls marketing fellas and what have you.
We're here for 97 hours, bro.
Disney themes at this time of night.
Well, I'm having fun. There you go.
Dead Colin. You'd be happy about that. I don't think you'd be grumpy or sleepy.
Sure up, don't me.
Oh, stop being bashful, man.
There.
We'll be escorted out now. He has to leave the premises. How many dwarfs do we down there?
So you don't get the point for each.
So picture the scene, 10 to 12 at night, and the iPad starts to flag.
There'll be Bolton Mackay effigies getting burnt if this goes off on the last end of the tie break, I'll tell you.
We're not getting out of here alive, wasn't it? We're not getting out of here alive.
I'll get my phone ready in case I need to go live on the page.
I'll get my car keys ready in case I've got to do your runner. Highlight show would be me staying away, spin out the car park. An angry mob chasing us down the street. Picture the headlines now. Oh, by his podcast lads strung up. Just in case we do go off, we're switching over to an episode of Fog and Logget.
You can catch the rest on the red button. Do you think we're going to hang on?
I don't know, mate. That red line's gone past it. I think this one might be lucky if we can get away with 2 minutes here.
We hope we've got longer than that 2 minutes, mate, because this is going to be 2 minutes.
Oh well, would you credit it?
Has it gone off?
Shall we go not now?
Yeah.
Not now. Well, see if we can hang on for seconds here, folks. The iPad just flashed up there. We're hoping you're still with us. Still got 242 watching.
Don't know about you, but my backside cheeks are clenched.
I'm absolutely hipping here. I'm thinking about going over and pushing Colin up this green here.
Colin, I know it's a big ball and all that, but hurry up.
242 people watching this. And they don't have my guts for garters.
We're hanging on by a thread, Will.
And it doesn't help when you hit the wrong key and the screen goes blank.
I
got off. Everybody panicking
I did. I was thinking that's what my backside looked like in a minute.
There was a collective groan from 240 households.
Oh, it's got... Oh, no, it hasn't. I was watching it on Facebook and it went black. Hey, man, what's going on?
There's a collective groan. Bloody podcast rubbish.
Colin, I'm going to get my baby going out in a minute.
For 30 seconds. Just 130 more seconds, folks. Got a right lather on here. Here we go, just...
I still look at that.
Davey back. You're a bad man.
Oh, Colin, please don't go back over years as well. You know the countdown clock. Did it.
Here we go. Oh, come on, just hang on for 20 seconds. You know what it reminds me is when I'm in the car driving around wanting to wee. So, here we go, folks. Fingers crossed you're going to see it. Come on, Colin. Come on.
I know it's a big ball.
This goes off, I'm going to knock him out. mind laughing at his try.
My God, the ball's away. Well, if it doesn't, I think he's tied.
Looks tight.
I think he's tied.
Looks like he's not finished.
Oh my word. Oh my word. Oh my word. Stuart wins.
Stuart wins. Great stuff. Great stuff, everybody. Thanks for watching. We're over the moon that you've managed to see the end of it. We're back again at 8:30 in the morning. And my God. We'll stick this up for the last time tonight.
Edgy seat stuff.
This has been a Wrong Bias podcast production, and we'll see you tomorrow on the tablets and lie down.
Catch you then, everyone.
Thanks, folks.
And finally, from both of us, thanks for all your support during 2022. We wish you all good health, and let's see where 2023 will take us.
Thank you for listening and hope you've enjoyed the show.
This has been a Dodgy production.